Like Gore Vidal, I never wanted to do anything else but go to the movies. Perhaps because Werner Herzog, the brilliant German director, was right when he said that movies can transmit ecstatic truth, a special truth full of deep human meaning. Well, my name is Jim, and these are the Academy Movie Junkies. This is our studio, and we're very proud of it. We like it. And in here, we're making a series of programs for the internet about movies. And I'll ask my on-air colleague, Brian, to explain a bit about the movies.
Thanks, Jim. Well, what it is we try to do here at Movie Junkies is we take a look at films dealing with drug addiction and alcoholism, you know, films generally dealing with darker or heavier topics, and we try to relate them to different topics in recovery. And what Jim and I do, as well as all the junkies, is we go around campus and we talk to people here, you know, at this treatment facility, Gatehouse Academy, about what their view is on the film or on that specific topic.
Nashville's Kelly Cantor left rehab early this morning. You'll remember the country music star was arrested a few months ago for drunk and disorderly conduct.
We can't wait to get on the road again. We can't wait for the tour to start. Kelly's feeling better than ever. She looks great, doesn't she, guys?
Thank you so much.
Silver wing.
I want the ball to open for me. He's a singer. It's a good one.
I've already got an opener for you. Charles Stanton.
She gonna let this prom queen get up on stage. Patsy Cline played here.
Why don't you come out on tour with us, Bo? Get out of these honky-tonks and step into the big leagues.
So
you're gonna be opening for the Looney Tunes. They need to lock that one up and throw away the key.
She's not crazy. 1 foot on the narrow way and 1 foot on the left.
Charles, who is your idol?
Kelly Cantor and Jesus Christ.
You and Jesus Christ, who'd have thought?
they love her. Do you think Charles Stanton is pretty?
Oh, come on.
What's going on? That's my song.
Wasn't right for you. It was too, I don't know.
Too good, too young. What?
Give me the ball.
You got any tricks up your sleeve? Anything you know how to do to stop this?
Yeah, don't take somebody out of rehab before the rehab.
You care about Kelly? This is her last opportunity to turn things around.
I know you see me like some white.
She had a fire in her. The only place she wanted to be was on stage.
Can you play a song for me?
Am I gonna play a song for you? I sure am.
On the outside, I look fragile, but on the inside, something you can't.
I'm stronger than all this, you know that, right?
'Cause I'm country strong, hard to break, like the ground I grew up on. You may fool me.
What got into Kelly?
She's putting on a big show.
First time I heard you sing, I thought that must be what angels sound like.
I love that story.
I'm country strong.
That's how it's done, sweetheart.
So today we're looking at a movie called Country Strong, directed by Shauna Fest, as you had said before, Jim. Specifically, the topic that we're going to be looking at is leaving treatment early. And I know when I saw this film, although it wasn't my favorite film in the world, the things that kind of stuck out to me were, you know, the realistic aspect of it was that when you do leave treatment early, historically from what I've seen, you know what I mean, the chances are things aren't going to go too well because you've left with kind of an apathetic attitude in a way, whether you think so or not. That's what I've seen. You've left with a level of apathy, not completing what you started, and I feel like that shows up down the line for a person's recovery. Like for me, when I had left halfway houses early or treatments early, you know, back in the day before coming here to Arizona, you know what I mean, it always ended up, that was the beginning of the relapse in a way. You know, in a very large but small sense, it was the beginning. You know what I mean? That was the beginning of my downfall. It's like I gave up on that, you know what I mean? So I got home, and I still went to meetings, and then eventually I stopped going to meetings. I left meetings.
Well, Brian, I know exactly what you mean. because all of us, when we're into recovery and when we're in a treatment center, and myself included, I've seen rarely anybody that doesn't feel at a certain point in time they're ready to go, and they're not. We're not. Because I find the anger is still there. We see that in the Gwyneth Paltrow character. She's angry. It doesn't take very long for her to become very angry. And she goes back to the same crowd, the same companions, the same business associates, of course, in her case, being a singer, and in mine too, when I had to go back to the same people. It does not work. It doesn't work. This is a very, very difficult disease to deal with, and we must listen to the people that know what they're talking about, because we see it time and time and time again.
You see a lot of people leave treatment early, and usually it's the same result, as in they either relapse shortly after leaving or their life pretty much comes to an end.
I want you not to forget that this is not graduation. This is commencement. It's the beginning of something new. It doesn't mean you go out and buy them a new car tomorrow because they've commenced the program. We used to call this graduation. You haven't graduated anything, okay? Like, this was the training.
I just thought that I could do it by myself, or I didn't even really need it because it wasn't that much of a problem. The way I saw it was everybody else's problem was a lot worse than mine. And I had left a couple times on my own accord. I came back shortly after. I'd gotten kicked out and sent to the homeless shelter, came back. When people want to leave early, I just share with them what happened to me and what I've seen happen to others, and I've found out that the reason why Gatehouse is as long as it is because those 30 days, 60 days, it doesn't work. I've heard they've been referred to as in and out programs, and you're there, you do your time, you're done, and that's it. And it doesn't really. I know I couldn't have learned anything that I needed to learn in 30 or 60. I'm still learning, so it doesn't even matter for me. I needed a long time.
The one thing about long-term treatment that really sort of defines the success of it is not drive-through treatment. There has been sweat equity put in. You know, the days you want to cut out of here and the days you want to blow out, you stuck it out, you fought through, and you wrestled.
Again, some solid feedback, Jim, from all our staff and residents here. I think what we said in the beginning kind of rings true in what they all had to say. Generally, if you leave a place early, leave a treatment center early, the results are going to be either disastrous or not exactly what you were expecting. And us as recovering alcoholics, we need to learn to commit to things. We need to learn to actually follow through, which is something we've never done before. And that needs to start with treatment. When we do go into treatment, whether we be going, getting sober through just AA or treatment, we need to follow through and we need to continue on what's recommended us, because that's something we didn't do before. So I know you had some.
Well, Brian, really, two things. When you leave early, the tendency is to go back to the same people, and they tend to be lower companions. They tend to be the people that hang around in bars and so on, and that's not for us anymore. And so we have to have a new social group, more or less. The other thing is, the big book talks about ease and comfort. Talks about that that we're looking for this ease and comfort, and we do get it from drugs and alcohol, because we are, as alcoholics, we're uncomfortable. It took a long time for me to get to the ease and comfort that the big book talks about, and that was supplied by drugs and alcohol, just by being a normal human being, going about my program and going to meetings. And that was really a revelation to me the day that I woke up and I thought, I'm comfortable in my life. I'm comfortable now. And so leaving early doesn't work. And oh yes, of course, the notes. There will be notes available on the film, and go to the email address there, and we will be pleased to send them to you, because all of this stuff helps understand this disease. Thanks.